Hi, welcome to this tutorial, dear students. This is Unit 12 Conversation Strategies, telling the news, or how to tell someone else news, or how to deliver news. Okay, so here we have the following expressions to introduce news. Did you hear about? Have you heard about? Did I tell you? Guess what? You know what? And you know. Okay, so let's go over this with examples. Did you hear about? Did you hear about means ¿escuchaste acerca de? Did you hear about all the trouble here last night? ¿Escuchaste acerca del problema que hubo aquí anoche? Or have you heard? Have you heard about all the trouble here last night? ¿Has escuchado acerca del problema que hubo aquí anoche? Did you hear about and have you heard about? They are similar. They are the same. The difference is that did you hear about is in simple past and have you heard about is in present perfect. Yeah? The next one, did I tell you? Did I tell you? My car was broken into last Thursday night. Did I tell you? ¿Sí te conté? Mi carro fue robado la noche del jueves. Okay? Guess what? Guess what? Our neighbor's car was stolen. Guess what es adivina qué? Adivina qué, le robaron el carro a nuestro vecino. You know what? He called the police, but they came too late. ¿Sabes qué? You know what es ¿sabes qué? He called the police, but they came too late. Él llamó a la policía, pero llegaron muy tarde. And the last one, you know, and it's always followed by a statement. For example, you know that older guy on the first floor, his car was stolen. You know es tú sabes o tú le conoces. En este caso es tú le conoces a ese señor un poco mayor que vive en el primer piso, pues su carro fue robado. You know, tú conoces o tú sabes. Yeah. So these are all the expressions that you use to introduce news, to give news to somebody else. Did you hear about? Have you heard about? Did I tell you? Guess what? You know what? And you know. Okay. So before we go to this example dialogue, okay, we're gonna see an example taken from the Cambridge platform. Okay. So let's go over it, the explanation. This is like an introduction to these conversation strategies. Let's pay attention.
Strategy. Telling news. Listen.
Did you hear about all the trouble here last night?
No, but I heard some police sirens.
The man says, "Did you hear about?" to introduce news.
Did you hear about all the trouble here last night? Did you hear about? Did you hear?
Here are more expressions you can use to introduce news.
Have you heard about all the trouble here last night? Have you heard about? Have you heard? Did I tell you? My car was broken into last Thursday night. Did I tell you? Guess what? Our neighbor's car was stolen. Guess what? Our neighbor's car was stolen. And you know what? He called the police, but they came too late. You know what? You know that older guy on the first floor? His car was stolen. You know,
Conversation strategy. Telling news. Use expressions like these to introduce news. Listen and repeat.
Did you hear about? Did you hear? Have you heard about? Have you heard? Did I tell you? Guess what? You know what? You know?
Before we continue, here the expressions "did you hear" and "have you heard," they can be used with the preposition about. So you can say, did you hear all the trouble here last night? Or did you hear about? Or have you heard? Have you heard about? Yeah. So about is optional. About means acerca de. ¿Escuchaste acerca de o has escuchado acerca de? So that is the meaning of about. Okay. Very good. So let's go to this dialogue where Joey and Paula are talking about a crime, a car-related crime in the city. So we're going to see all the strategies that we have seen here, okay? Let's go to the book. All right, and let's pay attention then to the dialogue, okay?
Page 122. Lesson C. Did you hear about 1. Conversation strategy. Telling news. B. Listen. What happened in Joey and Paula's neighborhood last night?
Did you hear about all the trouble here last night?
No, but I heard some police sirens.
Well, you know that older guy on the first floor of my building?
Yeah,
Guess what? His car was stolen.
that's terrible.
And you know what? He heard his car alarm and called the police, but they came way too late.
I'm not surprised. The thing is, they just don't have enough police on duty at night.
Exactly.
Oh, and did I tell you? My car was broken into last Thursday night.
No. Really? Was anything stolen?
No, the only thing was, they damaged the ignition trying to start the car. But the funny thing was, they couldn't start it because the battery was dead.
They are using, Joey and Paula, they are using a lot of the expressions to introduce news. So look, here are the six expressions that we can use. So they use, did you hear about? Okay. Or you know that the older guy, you know that older guy on the first floor of my building. Okay. You know, always followed by a sentence and statement. Okay. Or guess what? Adivina qué. Yeah. Or you know what? ¿Sabes qué? You know what? Yeah. And did I tell you? Sí te conté. All right. So we are using a couple of these strategies, okay, to introduce news. Yeah. Very good. Now let's go to the exercise here, okay? First, this is a listening exercise to practice conversation strategies. I will play this and you have to try to figure the answers out, and then we will go over the answers, okay? So let's do this. You can do it on a piece of paper. Come on, you can do it.
Page 122. 1. Conversation strategy. Telling news. D. Listen. Write the expressions you hear. Then practice with a partner. 1.
You know what? I got caught in a storm last night. My new shoes are completely ruined.
2.
You know what? The traffic is getting bad around here. We were stuck in traffic for an hour last night.
3.
Guess what? They're going to open a new organic food store near here.
4.
Did I tell you? My cousin is coming to stay with us this summer. I'm really excited about it.
5.
You know the guy I used to sit next to in class? The one with dark hair? He bought a new car.
6,
Did I tell you? I'm getting married next spring.
7,
Did you hear about that high school principal? He crashed his car into the front of the school.
8,
Have you heard about the plans for a new skate park in the city? It's opening next spring.
All right, so let's check the answers. Let's see if you got them right. Okay, so here is the exercise. So the correct expressions are, you know what? I got caught in a storm last night. Okay, you know what? ¿Sabes qué? You know, tú sabes, the traffic is getting bad around here. We were stuck in traffic for an hour last night. Guess what? Adivina qué? They are going to open a new organic food store near here. Number 4. Did I tell you? My cousin is coming to stay with us this summer. ¿Sí te conté? Number 5. You know the guy I used to sit next to in class? ¿Tú le conoces al chico con el que yo me solía sentar en clases? Yeah? The one with the dark hair? Yeah, he bought a car. Did I tell you I'm getting married next spring? Si te conté, me voy a casar en la primavera. Number 7. Did you hear about that high school principal? He crashed his car in the front of the school. Into the front of the school. ¿Escuchaste acerca de ese rector de la secundaria? Number 8. Have you heard about the plans for a new skate park in the city? ¿Has escuchado acerca de los planes de un skate park, o sea, un parque para poder patinar en la ciudad? Okay, so these are the expressions that you can use to introduce news. Okay, so those are the correct answers. Very good. We're going to go to the strategy plus. Yeah, this is also part of conversation strategies. Okay, so this is an additional conversation strategy. Okay, so in this time we're gonna see the thing is or the thing was. Okay, so you can use the thing is or was to introduce ideas. Yeah, for example, in a conversation, the first one, the thing is or the thing was to identify a key issue, es decir, para identificar un problema clave en una conversación. For example, one person says, my neighbor's car was stolen. And the other person says, I'm not surprised. The thing is, they just don't have enough police on duty at night. Yeah? So this person is introducing or identifying a key issue. O sea, está hablando de un problema clave. ¿Ya? Está diciendo que obviamente los carros o el carro fue robado porque no hay suficientes policías en la noche haciendo patrulla. O sea, patrullaje, mejor dicho. ¿Ya? Okay? The second one is the other thing is or the other thing was. Yeah, you can use it in the present or in the past. So that's why we are using is or was. The other thing is or the other thing was to add another issue. Es decir, para añadir otro problema en una conversación. For example, there aren't enough police at night. Oh, that's true. And the other thing is people don't stop to help each other anymore. Okay? ¿Qué está haciendo la segunda persona? Está añadiendo otro problema. Aquí está hablando de que no hay suficientes policías y en la segunda persona, la persona B, en la conversación dice, sí, y aparte de que no hay policías, la gente no se ayuda unos a otros, o sea, la gente no para ayudar a unos a otros. Entonces está añadiendo otro problema. ¿Ya? ¿Ok? And let's go to the third one. The only thing is or was, because you can use it in the present and in the past, to raise a problem. ¿Qué quiere decir to raise a problem? Para sacar a relucir un problema. ¿Ya? For example, my car was broken into. Me robaron el carro. ¿Ya? The only thing was they damaged the ignition trying to start the car. ¿Ya? Es decir, me robaron el carro. Lo único que pasó, que sucedió, fue que dañaron el ¿cómo se llama? El ignition en español quiere decir el switch donde se mete las llaves para encender el auto. Entonces parece que eso lo dañaron para poder encender el carro y robárselo, ¿ok? The only thing was. Entonces, esta persona lo que está haciendo es sacando a la luz, o sea, mencionando un problema, ¿ya? Ok, so, a pesar de que no le robaron el auto, pero el único problema fue, ¿ya? Que le dañaron ¿cómo se llama? El lugar donde se ponen las llaves, ¿ya? Es decir, el contacto, me parece que se llama. Bueno, so, let's review this. The thing is or was to identify a key issue, ¿ya? Es decir, the thing is y the thing was sirve para identificar un problema que es clave, ¿ya? En este caso estamos hablando de que el problema clave es que no hay suficientes policías. The second one, the other thing is or the other thing was is to add another issue, es decir, para mencionar otro problema. No hay suficientes policías y aparte de eso la gente no se baja a ayudarse unos a otros, ¿ya? And the last one, the only thing is or the only thing was is to raise a problem, es decir, cuando estamos hablando, mencionando algo, mencionar, o sea, sacar a relucir un problema que ocurrió, ¿ok? So this is to also to talk about news, another strategy to talk about news, ¿ok? You can also add adjectives to introduce other ideas, ¿ya? Esto también es para el momento que yo estoy conversando, estoy introduciendo ideas, dando ideas dentro de la conversación, ¿ok? So, for example, you can say, the best thing is or the best thing was. Estoy usando el adjective the best thing. Quiere decir lo mejor es o lo mejor era. The funny thing is, algo que es gracioso o algo que es chistoso. The funny thing is. Or the scary thing is, algo que es un poco miedoso. Is, okay? So we are using adjectives. Best, funny, and scary. For example, his car was stolen but the police found it. The best thing was, o sea, lo mejor fue that the thieves didn't damage it. Okay? Lo mejor que sucedió, lo mejor fue. The funny thing is, lo más chistoso es. O the scary thing es lo más miedoso, ¿ya? So you can use these expressions to introduce other ideas, okay? So we're gonna use, you're gonna see examples of this in conversations, okay? So before we continue here, let's go to the Cambridge platform first. Okay, pay attention.
Strategy plus. The thing is. Strategy plus. The thing is, or was. You can use the thing is, or was, to introduce ideas. Use the thing is, or was, to identify a key issue.
My neighbor's car was stolen.
I'm not surprised. The thing is, they just don't have enough police on duty at night.
Use the other thing is, or was, to add another issue.
There aren't enough police at night.
That's true. And the other thing is, people don't stop to help each other anymore.
Use the only thing is, or was, to raise a problem.
My car was broken into. The only thing was, they damaged the ignition trying to start the car.
You can add adjectives to introduce other ideas.
His car was stolen, but the police found it. The best thing was, the thieves didn't damage it. They broke into my car and tried to steal it. The funny thing was, they couldn't start the car because the battery was dead. My neighbor's car was stolen. The scary thing is, They also tried to steal my car.
So let's go over the strategy plus then. We have here the thing is or the thing was, okay? So we use these three types of expressions to introduce ideas, okay? So you can use the thing is or the thing was to identify a key issue in a conversation. The other thing is or was, it's to add another issue, another problem. Remember that issue is the same as problem. And the only thing is or was, it's to raise a problem, o sea, para sacar a relucir un problema en medio de alguna situación, to raise a problem. Okay? You can also add adjectives to introduce other ideas. The best thing is or was. Is for present, was is for past. The funny thing is or was. And the scary thing is or was. Okay? So let's go over the conversation that we saw earlier. And we are going to see the expressions, these expressions to introduce ideas, and they are highlighted in yellow. Okay? So the expressions that are used to introduce news, okay, are in purple, and the expressions in the strategy plus that are used to introduce ideas, they are highlighted in yellow. So let's go over the conversation once more. Okay, so pay attention. Look.
Page 122. Lesson C. Did you hear about 1. Conversation strategy. Telling news. B. Listen. What happened in Joey and Paula's neighborhood last night?
Did you hear about all the trouble here last night?
No, but I heard some police sirens.
Well, you know that older guy on the first floor of my building?
Yeah,
Guess what? His car was stolen.
that's terrible.
And you know what? He heard his car alarm and called the police, but they came way too late.
I'm not surprised. The thing is, they just don't have enough police on duty at night.
Exactly.
Oh, and did I tell you? My car was broken into last Thursday night.
No. Really? Was anything stolen?
No, the only thing was, they damaged the ignition trying to start the car. But the funny thing was, they couldn't start it because the battery was dead.
We are using the strategy plus. The thing is, okay, she's using, Paula is using the thing is, okay, for what? She's using the thing is to identify a key issue, okay? Identify a key issue, okay? So here, she's talking about that the main problem is that there is not enough police at night, okay? And then she says the only thing was, okay? The only thing was, remember that is used for what? The only thing was, it's to raise a problem, yeah? Es decir, cuando sacamos a relucir algún problema en medio de alguna situación. Okay? To raise a problem. They damaged the ignition trying to start the car. Es decir, dañaron el switch, ¿ya? Donde yo meto las llaves. Okay? And the funny thing was, remember we can use adjectives. The scary thing is, or the funny thing is, or the funny thing was. Okay, so here está diciendo, y lo más chistoso, o sea, la parte más chistosa fue que no pudieron prender el auto porque la batería no funcionaba. Estaba muerta la batería. Okay, so the funny thing was. So you can say here the funny thing was, the scary thing was. Okay, or the best thing was. Yeah. Very good. Okay, now let's go back to, okay, we're going to do this exercise that is here. Let's go over the exercise. Okay, so I will let you see. I'm gonna give you like a couple of minutes to look at the exercise and then we will go over the answers. Okay. All right. So look, it says Number 1, I love everything about my vacation, but the best thing was, or the thing is the food. Number 2, I like my college, but the other thing was, or the only thing is, it is too far away from everything. Number 3, my car was broken into once, so the funny thing was, or the worst thing was, they didn't take anything. Number 4, I was in an earthquake one time. The worst thing was, or the nice thing was, I was on the 20th floor of a building. Next part. I guess the other thing was, or the good thing was, I wasn't alone. Number 5. My friends want me to go skiing with them this winter. The only thing is, or the exciting thing is, I can't ski. Number 6. I get along with my brother. The only thing is, or the scary thing is, he gossips too much. Gossips significa que él chismea mucho. And I guess the great thing is, or the other thing is that he's always borrowing my stuff without asking. Okay, so let's go over the answers right away. Here it is. So look, you were supposed to choose the best expression. All right, so it says, circle the most appropriate expressions to complete the sentences. I loved everything about my vacation. The correct expression was, but the best thing was the food. Lo mejor fue la comida. The best thing was the food. Number 2, I like my college, but the only thing is, it's too far away from everything. The only thing is. So she's identifying a problem. Ella está identificando. Me encanta mi universidad. Chuta, el único problema es que está lejos de todo. My car was broken into once. The funny thing was that they didn't take anything. O sea, lo más gracioso es que no se robaron nada. ¿Ok? I was in an earthquake one time. So, the worst thing was I was on the 20th floor of a building. O sea, lo peor fue que yo estaba en el piso 20 cuando hubo un terremoto. The worst. ¿Ya? Worst es el superlative de bad. ¿Ok? Si es que quiero decir lo peor fue. O the best, que es lo mejor. So you can use best or worst. The next part. I guess, yo pienso, the good thing was I wasn't alone. The good thing was. Yeah, so you're using an adjective here. The good thing was. Lo mejor fue que no estaba sola. The good thing was. My friends want me to go skiing with them this winter. The only thing is, I can't ski. So she's identifying a problem here. Number 6, I get along with my brother. Yo sí me llevo con mi hermano. The only thing is, he gossips too much. O sea, yo me llevo bien con mi hermano, pero, ya, cuando quiero sacar a relucir algún problema en medio de algo positivo, yo utilizo the only thing is. Lo malo es que le gusta chismear mucho. Okay, he gossips too much. Okay. The next part, and I guess yo pienso, the other thing is he's always borrowing my stuff without asking. O sea, hay dos problemas con mi hermano. Es muy chismoso y otro problema, the other thing is, porque está añadiendo otro problema, es que siempre está cogiéndose mis cosas sin preguntarme. So, the other thing is cuando quiero mencionar otro problema. ¿Ok? Don't forget that the only thing es cuando estoy mencionando algo positivo, pero saco a relucir solo un problemita. ¿Ok? I get along with my brother, but the only thing is that he gossips too much. ¿Ok? And that was a strategy plus. Okay, so let's practice the conversation strategies and the strategy plus. Okay, so it says, complete the conversation with expressions in the box. Use each expression only once. Okay, Dawn and Nadia. So have you heard the news about Henry? No, what happened to him? Well, you know he goes mountain biking, right? Tú sabes que a él le gusta hacer mountain biking. Mountain biking es cuando Se van con la bicicleta a las montañas, ¿ya? Yes, I have seen him on his bike a lot. Well, he went out biking yesterday, and guess what? Or you know what? Here you can use both expressions, guess what or you know what. Adivina qué, o ¿sabes qué? He was in the mountains during that big thunderstorm in the afternoon. O sea, él estaba en las montañas en medio de esa tormenta. He had to sit under a tree to avoid the lightning. Tuvo que sentarse debajo de un árbol para evitar que le caiga un rayo. Under a tree. You know what? Guess what? That's really dangerous. You know what or guess what? You can use any of these two. Aquí se puede utilizar también cualquiera de los dos. ¿Sabes qué? O adivina qué. Eso es peligroso. It is? Oh yeah. Did you hear about those golfers who were hit by lightning under a tree? ¿Sí supiste o escuchaste acerca de esos golfistas que fueron impactados por un rayo cuando se pusieron debajo de un árbol? Oh no, that's awful. Yeah, they were taken to the hospital and everything, but amazingly they were okay. Oh, that was lucky, qué suertudos. By the way, did I tell you about my car? ¿Sí te conté acerca de mi auto? The roof was damaged in that storm too. It was hit by hailstones. O sea, el techo de mi carro fue dañado. ¿Por qué? Porque le golpearon unas hailstones, quiere decir cuando cae el granizo y el granizo es de un tamaño casi de una pelota de golf. Hailstones, that is how they are called, hailstones. Okay, so as you can see, these are expressions to introduce news. So look, in some cases you can use any of these two. You know what or guess what, because they are very similar. You know what and guess what. All right, let's continue. Write sentences introducing some news. Use true information. So this is an exercise that I'm going to ask you the next session, our last session, okay? So here you have to follow what it says, the instructions that they give you in parentheses. It says, good news about a friend. ¿Ya? Dar buenas noticias acerca de un amigo. So you know my friend Callie? She got a new laptop for her birthday. ¿Le conoces a mi amiga Callie? Le regalaron una laptop por su cumpleaños. Number 2. Fun news about yourself. O sea, dar unas noticias chistosas acerca de ti. Guess what? ¿Ya? Adivina qué. I won tickets to a concert. Me gané unos tickets para un concierto. ¿Ya? So I am using the expression guess what. Number 3. You have to give bad news about a local sports team. O sea, dar malas noticias acerca de un equipo de deportes local. For example, have you heard about Liga Deportiva Universitaria? They lost last night. ¿Has escuchado acerca de Liga Deportiva Universitaria? Perdieron el partido anoche. Okay? Or you can use here, did you hear about? Okay? Number 4, you have to introduce news about the local weather. O sea, dar noticias acerca del clima local. Did you hear about the tornado that struck 20 minutes from here? Did you hear? ¿Escuchaste acerca del tornado que causó muchos daños a 20 minutos de aquí? Okay. Number 5. Give interesting news about your favorite actor or singer. So you can say, have you heard about Carlos Vives? ¿Has escuchado acerca de Carlos Vives? He's singing on TV tomorrow. Va a cantar en la tele mañana. Okay? Or you can use did you hear about? Number 6. News about a family member. O sea, dar noticias acerca de algún miembro de la familia. Did I tell you? Sí te conté. My brother broke his legs playing soccer. Mi hermano se rompió las piernas jugando fútbol. Okay, so we are using did I tell you. And the last one, news about another city. Dar noticias acerca de una ciudad. You know what? Quito elected a new mayor. Quito eligió a su nuevo alcalde. Okay, ¿tú sabías que Quito eligió a su alcalde, un nuevo alcalde? Okay, so here we are introducing news. We are using guess what? Have you heard about? Did you hear about? Have you heard about? Did I tell you? And you know what? You can use any expression that you want, okay, to introduce any types of news, okay? So you just have to remember what follows each expression, yeah? Okay, very good. I'm going to ask you this in the next session. Now let's go to the next exercise. Circle the best way to complete each sentence, okay? I lost my bag last week and I found it outside my dorm room. The funny thing was, lo chistoso, lo gracioso, nothing was stolen. Nada fue robado. The funny thing was, nothing was stolen. Thieves broke into my car last week. Ya, o sea, los ladrones se robaron mi carro la semana pasada. And the worst thing, y lo peor fue, they took my favorite bag. Se llevaron mi bolso favorito. They took my favorite bag. The worst thing quiere decir lo peor fue. The worst thing. Number 3. Some neighbors of ours, o sea, nuestros vecinos, got married last month. And the weird thing, weird quiere decir lo extraño. Y lo extraño es que, so weird is an adjective, ¿no? They didn't tell anyone about it. O sea, se casaron y lo más extraño es que no le contaron a nadie que se casaron. Number 4. We had a great weekend at the beach. The best thing, okay, lo mejor fue, the water was so warm. El agua estaba tan caliente. Number 5. That movie was incredible. The only thing was, the ending was disappointing. Okay, remember that we use the only thing was, is that cuando estoy diciendo cosas positivas, la película estuvo increíble, pero menciono algo negativo que sucedió en medio de todo lo positivo. ¿Ya? So I am raising a problem here. The ending was disappointing. Estuvo increíble la película, lo único malo fue que el final fue un poco decepcionante. Number 6. We went out for dinner last night and the food was terrible. The other thing was, it was really expensive. So she is mentioning another problem. Nos fuimos a cenar anoche y la comida estaba terrible, estuvo terrible. Y aparte de eso, estaba muy caro el restaurante. So I am mentioning another issue, another problem. Because the first problem is that the food was terrible. The second problem, it was really expensive, okay? So this is a strategy plus. Perfect. Let's continue here. All right. So it says complete the conversations with expressions in the box. So we have, did I tell you? Did you hear? The best thing is, or the funny thing is. Okay? So we are mixing all the strategies here. Number 1, did you hear about the new vacation schedule? No, I didn't. What about it? We get an extra week of vacation. Great! The best thing is the extra week is in February. That means we can plan a nice long ski vacation. Lo mejor es que esa semana que nos van a dar de vacaciones cae en febrero y nos podemos ir a esquiar, ¿ok? Good. Number 2, did I tell you? Si te conté. There was a small fire at school yesterday, so she's introducing news. That's why we are using did I tell you. Really? Where? It was in the science lab. Some students were doing an experiment and it exploded. I hope no one was hurt. Everyone is fine. The funny thing is, the students all got A's. O sea, lo más gracioso de todo es que los estudiantes todos se sacaron buena nota. So she's introducing ideas here, okay? And then in the first part, she's introducing news. Está dando la noticia primero, por eso estamos utilizando esta estrategia, okay? And when you are introducing ideas, it means when you're giving extra information in a conversation, you use these expressions. The best thing is, the funny thing is, the scary thing is, etc., etc. All right, very good. And let's continue. Use the words in parentheses to introduce news. Then match each question with the correct news item. There is one extra news item that you don't need to use. So, for example, we have, it destroyed several houses. They are moving next month. I lost it yesterday. She's having a baby and it was a freak accident. Freak quiere decir cuando es algo grave, algo fuerte. Number 1. Have you heard the news about my sister? ¿Has escuchado las noticias acerca de mi hermana? The answer is, she's having a baby. Number 2. I just bought a new watch. And guess what? Y adivina qué, guess what? I lost it yesterday. Number 3. Did I tell you about the flash flood in my town? Si te conté acerca de la inundación en mi pueblo o en mi ciudad. It destroyed several houses. Number 4. You know my neighbors. ¿Tú les conoces a mis vecinos? They are moving next month. Se van a mudar el mes que viene. Okay? So don't forget that you use you know cuando estamos hablando de tú conoces a esta persona, tú conoces o tú sabes acerca de esta persona, you know, okay? Very good. So these are expressions to introduce news. Have you heard? Guess what? Did I tell you? And you know. So you are using the words that are in parentheses. Okay? They are giving you a hint. Nos están dando una pista de qué utilizar. All right? So that's it for now. That was Conversation Strategies Unit number 12, okay? So I will see you next time in our tutorial about the review for the final exam, okay? Bye-bye. Have a good rest of the week.